Okay, welcome everybody to this Conversations in Career session. Today, this one is slightly different because I'm joined by some apprentices. So today we've got Damon, Simon, Beth and Charles, and now they are currently working for the Wellcome Sanger Institute, and they're going to tell us a little bit about what they do, how they got there, what they're enjoying, and some challenges they've faced. So Damon, I'm going to come to you first. Can you give me a little bit of background?
So my academic background is in microbiology. I have a BSc, and that took me into food microbiology for a little while before taking a little early career break as a stay-at-home parent, and that's brought me into this course.
Excellent, wonderful. And Simon, I'm going to come to you next.
I studied double maths, chemistry and biology at Hills Road whilst working part-time for the biotechnology company Helix, which is what got me interested in bioinformatics.
Amazing. And Beth?
So I was doing A-levels, I was doing biology, chemistry and psychology, and I was quite interested in biology and then also bioinformatics when I heard about it. And I started at Sanger as a placement student, and that's actually where I learnt to code for the first time.
Amazing, wonderful. And Charles?
I've actually come down from Scotland. Well, I'm up in Scotland right now, but I moved down to Cambridge to start from Scotland out of 6th year of high school, having studied to advanced higher in 3 sciences, biology, chemistry and physics, and taking a higher in computing. So naturally, this was sort of a next progression for me, very natural one.
Amazing, wonderful. So for the people watching today, do you think one of you could maybe jump in and tell me a little bit about what the course is about?
Yeah, so basically, so we're studying at Anglia Ruskin University, and that takes up 20% of our working time. So that's like 1 day a week. And we do a range of modules. Some are more biology based, some are more computer based, data based. And alongside that, we're then working at the Sanger in our teams. Yeah, so it's working and studying at the same time.
Amazing. And how long is the course?
It's 4 years.
Ah.
It's 4 years. We've got 3 years of doing 3 trimesters at university, which is normal study, and then our last year is a dissertation.
Amazing. And how did you find the kind of application process?
Well, for me, it was quite smooth, quite easy. I already knew about apprenticeships being a thing because I'd been taught to them in school, and I had my older brother had moved on one. So I started searching early, and I found out about the bioinformatics course going on, and applied to that, found the Sanger link and applied to that as well. Came down for an interview and was accepted in.
Amazing. And was that kind of the same for you guys as well?
Yeah, pretty much. I came across it completely by accident, to be honest. I was trying to teach myself to code whilst at home. Just happened to come across this course at ARU. It was perfect for me, so I applied. I applied for every position that was open. Got a call back for 3 of them, got an interview for 2, then got accepted the next day after the interview. So it was a really easy application process. It was fantastic.
Great, interesting. So did you guys, you seem very independent, like you've all gone and seeked out these courses. Was that the case for you and Simon as well, Beth? Did you have to instigate it, or?
So I had got in touch with my manager, and so this was before I'd started as a placement student, because I actually had visited Sanger on a school trip, and I happened to see someone that I knew, and who then put me in touch with my manager, and I came for a day's work experience. And so then once I started at Sanger as a placement student, it was kind of with the vision that I was then going to go onto the apprenticeship, because it was actually delayed for a year. It was meant to start like the year before. So I kind of like slid into the role. but yeah, it was something that I did see. And when I came across it, it was sent around an email at school, and I was interested. And then I did kind of get in touch.
Amazing. And was that kind of the same with you, Simon?
No, actually, I got the job at Helix through a friend recommending me, and then it was only after that experience that I decided that it was an interesting field. I still intended to go to uni, and then the particular apprenticeship came up, and the offer seemed more valuable than going to do a straight bachelor's. So then I decided to take it.
Of course, yeah, that's interesting. Very interesting. So what has it been like doing an apprenticeship scheme throughout COVID? How have you found it? Who wants to jump in first?
I think in terms of the work side, it's been a lot easier on us than it has been on other people, because we work with computers, so we are capable of working from home and continuing with our jobs as normal. And the university quickly adjusted, so we're now using online modules. So at the start it was kind of rough, but now at the end we're running everything fairly smoothly.
Sorry, Simon.
I think the biggest issue is potentially the communication within teams. Before, when you worked in an office, if you were struggling with something or needed some advice, you can turn to your colleague and ask. But now if they're on a break or they've got an electrician around or something and they're away from their computer, you could be sat in theory for a couple of hours without a response. So you need to work a way around this.
Yeah, that's something I've found as well. And that's why I'm quite grateful that we'd already started the apprenticeship before this happened, because I think if we'd have started working at home, that would have made things really, really difficult. But yeah, it's been fine because we kind of know what we're doing now. And I actually prefer working from home, to be fair. It's nice not having the commute.
Yeah, definitely. I think a lot of people kind of sit on the fence a little bit, I guess, because you do save that travel time. You've got a little bit longer in the mornings, you've got a little bit longer in the evenings. So I guess that kind of maybe relieves some stress, I guess. Maybe.
I do miss campus, but I can definitely see the positives in working from home.
Definitely. I think I completely agree about the communication side as well. I feel like as well, when you're talking about something over email, you can kind of end up going round in circles sometimes and it takes a long time to go through emails, and I guess it's mostly when you're saying stuff face to face, you can't then delete and go back, you just say it and the conversation doesn't last very long. But so anyway, going back to the course, can you tell me what kind of like a day in the life of an apprentice is, or maybe a week in the life if it gives it a little bit?
I was going to say, because we only go to uni one day, so that one day is very different. For the days where we're actually at Sanger, it would be as if you were a normal working employee, because that's what we're hired to do. Very similar to everyone else, same schedule and everything. The only difference is the one day a week where we're not there, we go to uni, and it's very similar to what a traditional uni student would expect, because you have lectures, tutorials, practicals. So they're both very similar to their respective fields. It's just we do both rather than one.
Interesting. And do you feel like there is a lot of work thrown on you? Do you feel like it kind of has progressed really nicely? Are you guys all at the same stage as well in the apprentice? Fantastic. And when did you guys start? Was that last year?
September 2019. So that's like a year and a half. Wait, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah, we're the guinea pig year.
We're the first cohort through.
Amazing.
And the only one so far, but I think there should be some new apprentices starting this September.
Very exciting. Very exciting. So Simon, you kind of touched on it a little bit when you were going through your background. You decided to do this instead of university. Do you still think that that's the best decision that you made?
I think it's a hard one. The ultimate issue is everyone's expected to go to university, especially from a pure academic background like Hills Road, where I was at. The main thing that made me choose the apprenticeship was kind of belief in myself, and the sense that, you know, when this finishes and someone says to me, why did you pick this over uni? Why did you choose to buck the trend? I have a reason. I have very good arguments for why, and I can use that to my advantage, rather than, you know, having to be, you know, kind of like panicked that you didn't do what everyone else did. You kind of just have to be confident that you made the correct decision, because apprentices aren't the norm at the moment.
Absolutely, definitely. So when you guys were younger students and you were kind of thinking, gosh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do next? Is this always something that you've had on your mind, or did you debate other kind of career paths?
I mean, I started off in microbiology. I wanted to go into microbial research, look at the next antimicrobial, that sort of thing. But as I got further and further through the course, I realized this isn't 100% what I actually want to do. I wanted to do more sort of computational research, and I think coming out of that, getting the industrial experience made me realize what I really wanted to do. And I mean, at the time, I didn't even know bioinformatics was a thing. So coming out of that and then finding something like this was been absolutely fantastic.
Amazing. So interesting. What kind of, have you faced any challenges along the way at all? Anything that you...
The biggest difficulty that I found is you're not given the same easing into it that a uni student would get. You know, we're just told you have to be a professional now. I came out at, you know, 18, 19 years old and was like, okay, congrats, you've left sixth form, now you're in a working environment. Now you've got to be the same standard as people who have been here 20, 30 years. I think that's the biggest difference, and probably to me the hardest challenge. The academia you're ready for because you've done the A levels or the equivalents, but you're not as prepared for the professionalism as, say, if you had just finished your undergrad degree.
Definitely. What about you, Beth?
I think the thing that I've found hardest is just balancing work and uni, because it is quite full on, and it's kind of sometimes quite hard to get your head in like the right place, because it's like two different mindsets, the uni mindset and the work mindset, and yeah, it is quite full on. You know, sometimes you have deadlines, you have a lot of coursework, and you're working 4 days a week. So you've got that same sort of well, a bit less of a workload than the full-time uni students, but you've still got that. But then alongside that, you're working 4 days a week, and yeah, so it is full on. But I think the way I've coped with that is just being really organized with it, just planning my time. So I've got dedicated time for doing work and uni. And yeah, that's just helped me keep on top of it.
With the apprentice scheme, do they kind of, as well as doing the bioinformatics side, do they kind of nurture you with the kind of soft skill development, so time management, maybe presenting your work, those kind of things? Do they teach you a lot? I mean, I know the Wellcome Sanger are great actually, with learning and development and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know, does that form a part of your course, or is that something that you maybe get taught to do externally, or something that you guys have taught yourself to do maybe?
I don't think that's particularly part of our course, but like you said, there is lots of opportunities for that at Sanger, as there is for all people, not just apprentices. I think a few of the modules we've been doing recently are more based around actually what it's like to be a bioinformatician at work. So it does kind of touch on that, and just in general, being at uni, you are kind of developing those skills as well. But yeah, there is that support there, definitely.
I don't think we explicitly have to focus on them, but you know, you do research and then you have to talk about your research. You have to keep time management yourself, because you've got all these different jobs you've got to do. So the actual work side of it kind of does it for you. You have to learn these. It's a bit more being thrown in the deep end than, as I said, uni would be, but you do learn these skills.
I guess that's a great experience in itself, really. You kind of had to, I mean, being thrown in the deep end isn't ideal at the time, but you do take a lot from that experience. And I guess if you were to then go on to your next job, you think, gosh, I know I can handle this, and it becomes a little bit easier. So Charles, was it a big challenge for you kind of moving from Scotland down to Cambridge?
It wasn't too hard. So the apprenticeship scheme at Cambridge, at Anglia Ruskin, actually put up housing for me.
Oh, wow.
With a number of other apprentices. Mm-hmm. That's obviously been cancelled now due to COVID, but it might be starting back up once that's over. So moving down wasn't too hard. I had a place to go and I settled in quite easily.
Mm-hmm. Amazing. And Damon, have you faced any kind of challenges along the way?
Yeah. The first few months of coming to Sanger, I was doing like a 6 to 8 hour commute because I lived in the middle of Lincolnshire, in just plain countryside. So it was like by cycling to the nearest bus stop to get to the nearest train station to get to work, to then take the bus to work, and then the same all the way back. So yeah, it wasn't easy, especially when you've got a little one at home. But it's not the sort of opportunity you can let go that easily. Yeah. I mean, we're getting work experience at Sanger, and I don't know about the others, but I grew up hearing about Sanger constantly. So getting the opportunity just to have it was amazing. And then once we eventually did get to move here, it was a weight off my shoulders. I could actually start getting into my work properly instead of just sitting on the train with a bunch of drunks and whatnot, shouting and yelling and stuff. And then like being a bit dyslexic as well and being a bit slow off the foot trying to learn anything isn't exactly the easiest experience. But again, Sanger has been absolutely fantastic in that regard. They've helped every step of the way.
Amazing. So I guess to kind of round things off, if you guys could give one piece of advice to somebody maybe considering a career as a bioinformatician, what would you give?
I would say just do it. It's like the up and coming area. But I would say if you are gonna do the apprenticeship route, which you definitely should consider, just be prepared that it will be a lot of work. But if you're organised, you will be able to keep on top of it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. Stick with it. There's a lot of reward and there's a lot of freedom that comes with being part of the apprenticeship as well.
Wonderful. I don't know if you guys have got anything else to add.
I think Beth hits it on the head, to be honest. So.
Yeah, I think that it's so important if you have an opportunity like that thrown at you, just take it. Yeah, I think there's nothing better really. Oh, well, thank you so much, guys, for joining me today. It's been lovely to kind of discuss what you do, because if I hold my hands up, I had no idea that this kind of apprenticeship existed. So hopefully it's kind of inspired some other people to maybe consider this kind of career journey, and in particular apprenticeship schemes. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Oh,
pleasure. Thank you.